Welcome to the This Chat podcast.
Let's chat. Oh yeah, beep that.
Yeah,
what it is.
YouTube's
beep that. Well, the algorithm has been not so nice to us recently. We've been talking a lot about violence.
Press the buttons.
Oh yeah, like, subscribe, put that bell on. Also, we're on Twitter. We're popping off on Twitter. Actually, check it out. Put that in the description in the Twitter thing. So
of course, Twitter and Spotify. Of course, check us on Anchor.fm.
Yeah, Spotify. Just to listen, so it's easier. And
let's get the show going.
Yeah, let's go. Well, so
what's popping?
Yeah, well, Dave Chappelle, you guys heard about Dave? What's been happening with my guy Dave? He's been trending a lot recently due to the new closer special.
Oh.
And
what did you guys think for the special? First of all, let's get our opinions straight.
Well, on the special itself, well, let me just mention, he's basically cussing out trans people. That's why he's trending today. So our thoughts on it, well, my thoughts were, I found it wasn't as funny as his usual ones, is what I personally found. I found it a bit more. I think Dave Chappelle has become a lot more mature in the sense that he knows he doesn't need to be funny anymore. We just want to hear what he's saying. And then the story, what I like mostly about Dave Chappelle is the way he speaks. He speaks in like a nice storytelling fashion, and it's like he's just talking real, like he's just telling you exactly what he's thinking at the time, without filtering himself for the audience, for the for even the Twitter spaces of like the cancel culture guys. He's just saying it. He's like, look, this is what I think, whether you want to cancel me off for that or not, but this is what I think currently. It might change, it might not. And that's what I think about it usually. What about you?
Yeah. No, I did enjoy it, but I think I watched it in the wrong setting as well, because I was watching it while working, so I was stressed and trying to watch it. So I probably didn't find it as funny as I should have. But I do prefer his older stuff, and but I don't know. I don't feel like he was directly cussing trans on purpose. He wasn't trying to go after them.
There were these two people in the crowd, in the audience, that obviously, I don't know, I'm not going to describe them, but they were very colourful people, let's put it that way. Mohican. I don't know who they were, but they were very colourful. They wear the bright pink hair.
We know who you're talking about.
The pink hair Mohicans. And
the Twitter people came out in real life, basically.
Basically, they came out, and when he was dropping the jokes, at the beginning, they were like, oh, Dave Chappelle. Then he started dropping his jokes, and they were like,
oh, seriously? I didn't even notice.
Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I could tell.
I personally, I enjoyed the shit out of it. I think he's a gang number one comedian right here.
Yeah. But, whether you like his stuff or you don't, I think one thing I noticed is that what he said as well was mostly like the trans community has become like a protected class. You can't talk about these guys because otherwise, you get cancelled or in fact, now it's become a situation where you can't speak about this community because they've basically switched up the game on us completely. speaking about them anyway, it is now being equated towards violence,
bro.
Yeah, so anything you say is like, which is what they're accusing of Dave Chappelle, is that because he's made these jokes against trans communities, this could then perpetuate further violence against them,
or
because
it's akin to violence,
or in fact it is. Because it encourages more violence towards them, it is violence, is what they're saying. Yeah, it is violence, essentially.
Feelings,
exactly. No, because other people feel more, brave to then attack them on the streets because they're trans. It's a stretch.
That is a stretch.
That is a stretch.
Inciting violence.
And because of that, when there was recent, protesting against this, this whole thing, what happened was there was this one guy with the sign that said, I like Dave.
When you say protest, what do you mean? Like there was...
Oh, yeah, sorry to explain. Yeah, so they were protesting. Netflix employees were basically protesting the show.
Employees were?
Employees.
They had a staged walkout.
A staged walkout. And then, more people were just protesting it in general.
Yeah.
And during the protest, one guy came out with a sign that simply said, I like Dave. And they literally attacked him. They grabbed the sign off him, pulled it off him, dashed it on the floor, stepped all over it. And because he had it on a long wooden stick, they grabbed this bit of the sign, dashed it, and then they started shouting, "Oh, he's got a weapon! He's got a weapon!"
Really?
And after they literally took it off to make it look like he only had that wooden stick.
Weapon.
Yeah, they literally made the weapon themselves, and so that he could possibly get shot. Because at that point, you know what I mean? That's what they do.
If someone's shouting, he's got a weapon.
Yeah, what are you trying to aim for?
Yeah, that's so American, man.
Bro, and they're just shouting like, repent your sins. They're just shouting. You remember that?
Really?
That one fat girl.
There was one chick that was like shouting, repent your sins, like, because the guy's got a, like, I think he said Dave Chappelle's funny. What did the sign
Dave
say?
Chappelle is funny. I like Dave.
I like Dave Chappelle. Something like that. It's just like some basic random thing you say. I like this guy called Dave Chappelle. Nah, repent. Repent for your sins.
So now imagine this, those people who basically are morally good. That's what they're trying to claim. I'm morally superior than you. I'm morally better than you. Yet, when it really comes down to it, they perform just like the right-wing protesters in the way that, in fact, they were attacking the guy verbally and violently. And because the reason they're attacking him violently is because they believe his words are violent. So the same course of action is warranted.
Self-defense.
It's essentially self-defense. So that's why this logic is very... And you know what? They took it a step further now.
No, what?
Silence is violence.
Silence is violence.
I saw that.
They're shouting silence is violence now.
So basically, if you do not speak up and defend,
you're you're anti-trans because you're not actually going out of your way to defend trans people. So silence is violence. So an example of this, now look how crazy this is. An example of this was during the BLM protests. This woman was having a coffee outside her. I saw this on Abba and Preach video recently.
BLM is Black Lives Matter.
So she was having a coffee by herself during the BLM protest. Obviously, she's not protesting; she's just having a drink. Because she's white and she's sitting there, not currently protesting. They all surrounded her, saying, "Silence is violence. Silence is violence."
Bro,
imagine.
I don't know if you
like
guys...
if you want to build the races, this is how you.
You're actually making the point.
But the best part about this is inside the Dave Chappelle's like special, he was saying like, I don't know how these communities did this because the black community have been trying to figure out a way.
That was one of the funny jokes he said.
He's like, how do you guys get so organized?
But
we've been trying this for 100 years.
and he was like, because imagine now basically a man who's now transitioned into being a woman, which is basically a white male who had the highest privilege, in which they said has suddenly turned around to a black person and said, I have less privilege than you because I've decided I'm a woman. That's not how what are you talking about? That's not how it works. And that's what that was the premise of his whole closer, was that they keep saying that Dave Chappelle is punching down. His argument was the trans women are the guys who are actually punching up to him because punching down. So because he believes that black people have a lot more struggles than a trans woman. And if we look at it realistically and historically, that's fucking true. It is true.
But let's not get into oppression Olympics. I don't believe in no oppression Olympics. I don't believe in, just because you suffered in one way, my suffering is worth more than your suffering, and therefore my suffering should be valued higher. I don't believe in none of that.
Oppression Olympics. it is what it is, and that's why, and that's exactly why Dave Chappelle in the same place made jokes about the Jews. He made jokes about the women. Yet the only person you hear about and you've heard about is a trans community.
Yeah, that's what we see in the media.
Which is the protected community now currently. But let the trans disabled people come out soon.
Or if we're talking about black disabled,
if we're talking about, and then
let's layer it,
and so then what did they do? The employees, they came out, and what did they say? They turned around and were like, okay, we need Netflix to do these things. Where do they begin? We want a trans person on the board of Netflix.
On the executive.
On the executive board of Netflix. Now let's look at the numbers of trans people really in society today. The number.
What do you think it is?
It's less than 1%.
0.01.
It must be. It's only Western countries.
And it's only Western countries. So less than 1%. That means you have to look for qualified people within that in that group. And majority of the time, you will not be able to exclusively find that. So what do? They basically hand a job to someone for deciding to change their agenda. And now imagine, because back in the day when they were doing it for black people, it's hard for a white person to decide I'm going to be a black person so I can gain these things. You can't just do that. For a woman before, for women, if they were getting women in tech, a guy just can't turn around really and try to get in. But now they've made it easier. A white man, Dovi, if you're stressing for jobs, and based on what they're doing slowly, they want to really isolate job roles and opportunities for these specific
Mind you,
groups.
this is positive discrimination.
And this is what they call it.
Yeah.
Positive discrimination.
No, I've taken advantage of. I don't know about you guys, but I take advantage of it sometimes. Like for example,
if it's available,
if it's available, they'll be like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna give you a couple of grand to go to some new, I don't know, program to study this because obviously you're poor, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, I'm there."
Poor or not, it's just as long as you're black, they consider you poor. And why do we take advantage of it? We do because it's available to us. But I know damn well that's racist.
100%. I didn't even agree with it. While I was writing, I was like, fuck it. I'm getting that money. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should take it.
Yeah,
if it arises, take it.
And Dovey, how easy is it for you to just turn around and they're giving broad jobs out, and you're like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not having a good time because I'm being snaked for being a white cis male, and for you to be like, I'm a woman to tomorrow, get that job role 12 months later, switch back.
Right, okay.
Who's gonna really,
And the best part is, like, once you say I'm a woman and you put, like, I don't know, maybe you didn't even have to put a dress on or nothing.
Nothing qualifies you to be. You have, as long as you say you're woman, you're a woman.
Just announce it.
Anyone who dares say anything is transphobic.
You guys know about Zuby?
No. The weightlifter.
Yeah, so basically he was like, okay, he was doing some weightlifting.
Yeah.
Before I do this deadlift, before I do this bench press, before I do this whatever, he was like, I'm gonna announce myself as a woman. And then technically, I just broke the women's world records.
Oh, that's smart, actually.
And he's famous for it.
He's actually famous when he went on BBC News, everything, like Sky News, everything. Went American News. He's traveled around the world just because he made a little troll. Now he's famous for it, and also his music is a bit popular, but still.
But it shows you that now this system is going to be gamed hard. Of course, it will. Because we've seen it being gamed in, sports,
right?
Especially in fighting sports,
MMA.
We've spoken about that previously.
That one's peak.
So now, if you're saying board, giving people roles and very lucrative roles for simply being trans,
right?
Because that's all it requires. It seems. You're just gonna switch, and these claims they're making are claims that have been kind of done across the board in other like tech industry jobs,
right?
Roles for black people, roles for women. We need this, we need that. Positive discrimination, actually being sexist during your interview process, being racist during your interview process, and hiring people purely on skin color is becoming they're forcing this idea, which is just shocking. But
that's a tips for the job market, basically, man. And that check the, what I'm saying.
I would, if I was in a situation where they said black trans person is becoming this new CEO of Google, best believe man switching the gender tomorrow.
Me.
Come on, that's huge life.
Come on.
Well, how much are you getting paid? 200k a year?
No,
there.
You'll never get
500 million.
Millions, bro. That's millions.
Yeah. CEO probably a lot.
Millions, bro.
No, you're just an executive, not the CEO.
So you're telling me, of course, I understand that's ethically and morally wrong.
Is it?
But you could argue that. But I'm sorry, I'm willing to be ethically and morally wrong for millions. You've literally given me such an incentive to do it.
It is. Humans do like behave based on the incentives that are available in their environment.
Exactly.
It's literally like, honestly, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but apparently it's the case.
Yeah. So in Dave Chappelle's case, a lot of people are now saying as well, at the beginning, like some people were saying, this is great for comedy, Netflix is finally taking a stance,
right?
Because he was supported by the co-founder, I believe, right?
So they came out publicly and
said, for the guy, he's never been like public before or anything like that. We just found out who he was, basically.
Really? Yeah. He publicly basically was like,
I honestly I think he recently just made a Twitter account just as well. He just first time he made a Twitter account as well.
Because the man everyone's getting beefed on is on Twitter.
It's how Twitter, bro.
Twitter, everyone's getting beefed on Twitter. It's just crazy.
Okay.
Oh my day.
But so he's come out and supported it, and then he also got cancelled. You think because you're the CEO of Netflix, you get cancelled?
I heard he was backtracking. It's true. I did hear he was backtracking.
Really?
He apologized as well for some of the stuff he said.
I think he said maybe his wording was incorrect, but he still backstage about it. I think that was the case.
But major comments like Andrew Schultz have come out and were like saying, at beginning it seemed like this is a great win for comedy, but it shows you even the greatest comic alive today cannot go out and say something, make a joke about this protected class of people, without him also having such controversy and
how's he cancelled, bro? He's getting paid millions upon millions upon millions.
It's not about being cancelled, it's the fact that you see the amount of uproar, the amount of protests, and simply because Netflix had kind of stuck to their gun a little bit,
right?
Yeah, is he really not? But in other facets, he will be cancelled in like getting further opportunities, maybe in specific areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Although he himself may not care.
So. I think he's gonna keep getting popular because of
I don't think that many people read into it though. I think they're just gonna see the headlines that he's been transphobic, and they're gonna believe it.
And they're gonna believe it. And every time you do that, these people are so quick with the cancel. They'll message you, why are you guys working with Dave Chappelle? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And to be honest, Dave Chappelle may be able to survive it. Yes, or it's still up in the air.
Yeah.
But if you look at that, and if that's the greatest comic, and that's the amount of stress he's been put through, everyone else below him, they're not even going to consider doing it.
Yeah,
they're like, listen, I'm nowhere near the size of Dave Chappelle. None of us is as big as Dave Chappelle.
Right,
we will be cancelled, and especially in cases where they're like, we don't bring anywhere near the money that Dave Chappelle is bringing in for the networks to even warrant for them to stand up for it. You get what I mean?
I see what you mean, but at the same time, I do believe because he was so famous and he's still getting paid, and they backed him. A lot of comedians are gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. So there's support for the thing. Let me jump out. Let me see what's up.
I don't think they will.
Because I don't know. I was watching some stand-up comedians on YouTube, and they're like, how YouTube has these new like shorts or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're all like making like bare jokes now, and they're all just cracking up because I think they got supported. They were like, okay, cool. So I feel like there's a ground where we've won the idea of free speech is more important than protecting communities. I think that's what I believe anyways. Free speech for the win, bro.
Yeah. But it's like you simply, what's the point of comedy if you can't make jokes only to specifically one group?
Yeah, that was the whole point. Like they're always making these risky jokes, but you know it's comedy, so
and it's not from an ill place. And I think a lot of the people have now forgotten simply, which Joe Rogan was saying, was that me making a joke about you doesn't inherently mean I hate you. That's the biggest line in the fact that, and if I told you as well, specifically, I don't hate you, why can't you take my word for that?
Right, yeah.
Why must you believe I hate you because of the jokes I'm saying? That's ridiculous.
100%. I think everything and everyone should be able to be made fun of.
Yeah, and
100%.
And they don't have they're like, oh yeah, but the jokes are all like, oh, they're not funny. They're not funny to you.
Yeah.
Because it's about you.
And that was that was Dave Chappelle's last special. He's like, everything's funny until you're the one being joked about.
Exactly.
That's true.
So all in all, I think Dave Chappelle, it was good. He knew what he was doing because he done said, I'm gonna dip now.
Yeah, he did the last one. He
knew this is gonna be you know at the beginning when you know you're about to do some fire. You're about to say some crazy shit. You're like, listen guys, this is my final one.
I don't believe it was crazy shit. I think he was just being real.
He even said it. I'm gonna cancel myself before you come for me.
Yeah, true.
But
that was that.
In other news this week, we had Alec Baldwin, who accidentally shot and killed a female coworker with a prop gun. Not a real thing, a prop gun, but turned out it was real.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part about it. But this happened before actually. So there was a case, Bruce Lee's son in I forgot what year it was, but he was killed on set for a movie by a prop gun. So there's a few of these happening recently, or before.
What's the word of why add prop when clearly it's gun? It's gun out here.
So so basically the situation is Alec Baldwin. He's known for a few movies. Well, he's done I think like 50 plus. He's done quite a lot to be honest.
Yeah.
I know he's known for Mission Impossible. He's been that, The Departed, a few others.
Oh, The Departed was sick.
Yeah, that was a sick movie to be fair. And but it's come out recently that he has killed a fellow co-worker pretty much with a prop gun, and so her name was Helena Hutchins, and she was a cinematographer for the movie, and it's a really sad story because it was a big accident really. So like Alec Baldwin, there was no malicious intent behind it. Like he had no idea this gun, which was meant to be a prop gun, was actually loaded with live rounds, so real bullets.
Who the fuck put? Wait! You need to explain this shit. You need to explain who put real bullets in this.
So for many years now, even in movies on sets and stuff, they use real handguns with it's like a blank bullet. So it's everything that you would normally put in a gun, just with the tip removed, basically, which is the dangerous part.
Yeah.
So but they use real guns for the effect. So the like realistic recoil, the muzzle flash, like it just looks a lot better than going in afterwards and then adding it in effects.
Yeah.
So they've always used real guns, but the process is usually you would have to have multiple people checking it. Only a certain amount of people are allowed to even touch the gun, just so that it's not like tampered with, exactly. And in this case, they haven't actually come out with an actual reason how it's happened. But the assistant director of the film picked up one of the 3 guns that was on the set, handed it to Alec Baldwin, and they began shooting the scene, and he fired the gun. And a real bullet came out and killed the cinematographer. And also it passed through her and hit the director in the arm. It injured the director but killed the cinematographer, unfortunately.
That's nuts.
But it's a wild accident. But then you look into it more and you find out that basically a few days earlier, there was incidents where 2 live rounds were fired on the same set from the guns. So they shot 2 real bullets a few days earlier.
So how the fuck did we get to it from a few days earlier? Clearly a massive fuck up took place, and then suddenly we're killing someone. Did no one do anything? What were people saying?
So like, a few of the cameramen actually in protest quit and walked off the set.
So people actually fucking quit because it was so dangerous.
Yeah, because people are just shooting around the set at this point. Like, you don't know where the bullet's going to come flying past.
So people actually left. So it was such a big scandal that people left and they continued.
Yeah, and so they did the protests. They left, and what they're saying is that the complaints weren't passed up to the people who would like deal with it.
Yeah,
they're saying they didn't ever hear of these complaints, but they've lost some cameramen.
Over what? Like, if people are getting fired, you need to, or quitting, you need to see why.
It's like camera 2, pan. Camera 2? Who's on camera 2?
He's not even here. Nah, bro.
That's the first fuck up. It had already happened on the same set 2 days earlier. They had fired real rounds, and still there's nothing happened. And they went out, and the protest was because of gun safety specifically. It's not like just unsafe conditions.
Yeah.
Gun safety that was lacking. And then you also find out that the head armorer, which is the person that supplies the weapons, supplies the information, the bullets, sets them up.
Wait, before you. So is this the guy who actually gave him the bullets?
Yeah, so the head armorer is involved in like supplying everything, the weapon, the bullets, everything, setting it up, making it safe, blah, blah, blah. And the head armorer, I don't know, I don't want to say it, but like, it's a woman who seems to have got the job based on her dad. So her dad is
nepotism.
Her dad's quite famous in, like something to do with guns. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he works with guns. He's quite famous. And apparently on her, this was her second ever time being the armorer for a set, and apparently the first time she didn't even really want the job because she didn't really feel ready. And then it also came out that she admitted that loading blanks into the gun was one of the scariest things she's ever done. Loading a blank into a gun was the scariest thing. How are you hiring a head armorer who's scared to put fake bullets into a gun?
So you said she decided, you know what's less scary? Let's put real shit in.
Yeah, well, we don't know. They haven't actually announced.
Mine is the tip.
Yeah.
Well,
this had the tip. The tip killed her, unfortunately.
I don't understand. Why? So...
Yeah, it's just like failure everywhere.
Why is the live rounds and the blank rounds mixed up, first and foremost? Why the fuck isn't every bullet checked before it goes in?
Exactly.
Why are they not specifically ordering blanked bullets only?
That should be how it is, but I don't know how this happens. And then the person who's meant to be in charge of it was scared of the weapons that she's meant to be in charge of.
I think I got it. I think I know what's going on. So somebody had finally access to a real gun. They were like, or a gun that can be used with blank bullets. But if you put the real bullet in, it shoots fire like real. It shoots like for real.
It's a real gun.
It's a real gun.
But if you put blanks in, it doesn't do it. But if you put a real bullet in, it shoots like regularly.
It shoots regularly.
Yeah, calm, exactly. So he got gassed, or whoever they had, they got gassed, and then finally they were playing around with real bullets. They're shooting around in some area, and then they're supposed to bring it in like it is, empty, no real bullets. But it's just got a mix up, natural mistake. Oh, I forgot, I was too baked, I was too drunk, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, pop.
Possibly.
That's a theory, though. I don't know. There's no evidence for this.
Obviously,
but
I'm speculating. I'm speculating.
He's just making shit up.
He's just making shit up. We're chatting shit.
It's the Let's Chat Shit. It's the Let's Chat Shit podcast. Let man speculate. Can I speculate?
So. But yeah, it was so all these checks are meant to happen beforehand. Only a certain amount of people are meant to touch the gun.
Yeah.
It's meant to be checked by multiple people before it goes. But it just seems that a loaded gun was left on the set. The assistant director picked it up, gave it to Alec Baldwin, and announced cold gun, which is basically signaling like it's not live rounds.
Yeah.
The gun's safe to use. It's been checked. Everything's okay.
But why are we announcing all guns should be cold in the fucking set? That's why I don't get it. Why are we announcing this? It's just shocking that for me is that why is there live rounds at all on the premises?
Yeah, that's what's confusing. Like that makes no sense. That thing I get using live guns because of the reasons I said about like looks better and stuff like that. But why is it loaded? For what reason do you need it loaded with real ammunition in that?
In any situation, in how any of those come in. And you know what was trending? Alec Baldwin for prison.
Really?
Trending
I don't.
That's on social media.
Yeah, the Twitter niggas are always catching people.
I don't agree with that because I feel like he had the least.
It's not his fault. Yeah, it's not his fault technically. Like he's told to grab the thing. He's told to shoot.
Calling him a murderer and everything.
But
I mean, he is, but
I would place personally more blame on the head armourer, who seems incompetent, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah, there are people responsible.
How can you be scared of your job? That's going to lead to a fuck up. That's going to lead to a fuck up if you're scared of your job.
And what a risky job to be scared of. Like, come the fuck on. Like, there are certain jobs. Do not take it if you are unable to do, if you're not qualified or unable to do it, because there's lives on the line for that reason. And to be honest, she has to take the hit for that.
Imagine if you're a firefighter, you're afraid of fire. Like what?
And people are dying. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Look, I lied to you. I didn't know it was gonna be like that.
Firefighter. I didn't know I was fighting fires. Nah, incompetence, bro. That's. I think that's what most of it happens. It's just incompetence, bro.
So it's really sad, but I think this will affect his career, to be honest.
Yeah, unfortunately. Social media is always fucking around.
Yeah, and bro, non-stop. So much so that Trump was like, "Fuck it, bro. I want to make my own thing." Trump decided to create his own social media, bro. Truth? Yeah. Truth Social is called.
Is it out yet?
No, they're taking sign-ups. Yeah, I've signed up for it just to see what the But yeah, it's quite crazy because as soon as he announced it, the stock exploded, being like nearly 1,000% up. Like
it's publicly traded.
Yeah, What do you mean the stock? What stock?
The company, the merged company that they.
What's the company called?
I forgot the name of the company specifically, but look it up. But
it's called Funware with a PH.
Funware.
But
okay.
It
goes up by 471%.
Oh, recently, yeah, it was even 1,000 a few days ago.
1,000
for the big people who had it already.
Shiba what?
Yeah. So literally, they were making a lot of money from that, but everyone was posting the fact that, you know, the terms of services, how they all talk about freedom of speech, but look at the terms of services. I was thinking, you guys are so dumb. Look at the terms of services for Twitter.
Explain why one.
Because you know how the wording in terms of services is like, you know, if you say something, we have the right to take you off the platform, blah blah blah. Of course, this is because this is how all terms of services is just written. Legally speaking, they take as much control as they can from the user. But they never exercise majority of what they're saying. Even on Twitter, they never really exercise majority of what they say or any terms of service. It's just there how it is. But people obviously are taking it to the crazy levels only because it's Trump and that because the point of the service is that it's meant to be freedom of speech. However, let's be honest, we all know it's not really going to be entirely freedom of speech, but at least it's someone who's trying. And we all know that Twitter, Facebook, Google, any of these social media giants, they're all left leaning heavily, proven in even scientific studies that have come out recently showing that conservative posts are unfairly removed due to the actual content policies that label anything majority close to conservative as hate.
Oh shit, okay.
That's because what they say, oh, we don't do it unfairly. Yes, because your whole system is unfair from the beginning.
Okay.
It's crazy because, Jack Dorsey, like obviously he's CEO of Twitter. I think he was the founder and I think he still has like quite a large majority stakehold. I think maybe 20-30%. I don't know exactly the number. It's a Let's Chat Shit podcast. But actually, funny enough, I'll show you since you're on this side. So he actually took a screenshot and of the Truth social media, and he goes, I guess at Jack is taken because obviously normally he has Jack on Twitter.
Yeah. Right.
And then some other guys got Jack's beard at Jack, and then he took another screenshot of, I don't know how he got this screenshot, but it's the guy on True Social Media is a guy called Jack who works for the company, and he goes, "Hey Jane, can you please have our moderation team take down that account and its post, which is some account, some post talk about something."
Yeah.
And then the Janes goes, "Hey Jack, are you sure you want to do that? I mean, it's pretty big deal censoring that content, kinda an overreach." And then Jack on Truth Social goes, "Just take it down." And then obviously everyone's like, "Bro, Jack, why?" Like Jack on Twitter, Jack Dorsey now, so many Jacks. Jack on Twitter, Jack Dorsey. Why are you even screenshotting this? This is your Twitter. This is your account. Like, this is what Twitter does. They censor everyone anyways. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Appealing to the audience, like, what the fuck?
Because he's trying to also show the fact, they're also censoring. It's like at least for what I need is some competition, someone to be out there to compete against these giants. Because again, what they've claimed for years is that they're not a public forum. They're not there to facilitate.
Yeah, they're private companies.
And we know that. And especially when they were saying it 10 years ago and earlier, that there was going to come a point where where majority of the discussion happens. Majority of the discussion, now international discussion, is happening on these platforms. So they control it, like their countries, like their governments, and they make up all the rules on how you can and can't speak.
I mean, if you have enough users where you're basically larger than most countries in the world, are you not going to act like it?
Well, I'll act at wherever power I have, I'm gonna act like it. But what I'm saying is the fact that they've claimed that for so long, and that's why we need people to compete against them, especially like whatever Trump is doing. Although maybe I know what it's going to become like another 4chan, but at least there's something out there that's trying to compete with these guys and put some pressure on these guys to at least allow for more content that isn't in line with your own political beliefs.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to see that.
Do you reckon it's going to succeed? It's going to become a thing?
People don't jump on it? No, it's not going to succeed.
I think there might be another like Winnie the Pooh situation where if loads of people start talking shit about Trump and like referring to certain things. Gonna start banning stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, what's that one called? Parlor, the one that went down because Amazon, all of them, once again, the social media companies,
they're so good.
They colluded. They were like,
collude.
Take it down.
Gone. And even now, like if my company, we're heavily on cloud services. If AWS takes us down,
if Bezos thinks, I don't like you guys.
Because the way you design your websites and your architecture around your servers. Yeah. It's embedded on what they have there. You have to for us in some products that we have to rebuild from the ground.
Right. Okay.
If they take us down, it's a rebuild.
That's what Parler had to do. They had to basically
serverless architectures and it's rebuild.
They had to spend months and months and months trying to rebuild, trying to find some other cloud hosting.
No one has what some of the stuff has. Like
exactly.
And if you're banned on AWS, you're definitely not going to be building on Google Cloud
or Azure or anything.
The minute they're going to be like, we're going to ban you too. All boys.
Exactly, bro. Oh my days.
Corruption. It's all corruptions out here, and so peak though they do take down corruption sometimes. With the Columbian drug lord recently being captured.
Yeah. So the drug lord O'Neil. I can't pronounce his full name. I don't know if our Spanish speaker Masu could help me out.
Never mind, I'll find.
It's like, alright. But anyway, this guy is the largest drug dealer drug lord since El Chapo.
Fuck, they got another one.
This is the next biggest guy in South America, the whole of South America. This guy's the biggest cocaine trafficker,
Oh my god, I didn't even hear about this.
Listen, shout out to Dovey. Man, my guy's got notes.
I've got a few notes here. So this guy basically, so he was born in Antioquia.
Antigua, I think it's called.
Antigua.
Yeah.
Nah, it's another place, but yeah, whatever.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is another place. To be honest.
That's what it sounded like you're trying to say.
You know the ones where they can't pronounce shit.
I'm white, man. I'm white. Forgive me, you know.
It's calm. You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
But yeah, he jumped between like loads of guerrilla like factions and rebel groups and gangs and stuff. Like he was in and out, shake it all about sort of thing. And then he kind of he planted himself on all of them and kind of got some reputation in a lot of it, and like gathered a lot of like popularity, and he got involved with a gang that had extensive international connections, and they had like illegal mining operations, like gold mining, stuff like that, human trafficking, drug smuggling.
These men changing the game up now. They're also mining.
Yeah, they do a little bit of pickaxe, little gold shuffling.
Funny, not crypto mining.
No, but that's where most of the Amazon has gone to. It's gold mines and plantations and stuff like that. So he's involved.
Deforestation.
I see.
Yeah, and so the Colombian government themselves put a $800,000 reward on his head for info.
Only.
Yeah, leading to his capture. Yeah, but they're not the richest country, are they?
You know when Drake said they only, that song, they only put 50K on my head. What kind of disrespect is that?
Oh, really?
Basically, this is what they think. Yeah. Guys, I made 800,000 yesterday. That's yesterday's money, and that's all you put on my head.
Inflation gonna fuck that up.
Well, I'll pay anyone who tries to snitch on me that 800 grand.
Yeah.
Word.
But I guess this guy's worth a bit more. He's a bit more than Drake. So 800,000 from the Colombian government, but then a further 5 million bounty from the US.
See, the US at least trying to speak.
Yeah, trying to help out.
That covers a week and a half. That covers about a week and a half.
So he got captured in his rural hideouts in Colombia, and apparently he's been moved around. He doesn't even own a phone. He's just he's been proper under the radar, and it took them a long time. It took, over the whole course of trying to capture him, thousands of soldiers, multiple helicopters, vehicles, everything in trying to capture this Don. Multiple failed operations, everything, and they had to just capture him based on satellite imagery, just work out his movements and find out whereabouts he might be.
That's mad. That has bro, they had CCTV in space looking for you.
And basically, for his capture, the one operation that did end up capturing him, it took 500 soldiers and 22 helicopters to get this man. And all the soldiers were taking pictures
in GT, GT. You say? I was a joke, but this guy said, man, we're taking pictures of celebrity.
There's pictures out there of soldiers and him smiling in the background.
No, finish.
You were gonna go to the 5-star thing on GTA.
You got the GTA 5 stars, but these men were taking pictures. That's
I
mad.
mean, you might as well,
bro. Let me just say, imagine you're that famous, you're like that mad of a drug lord. Yeah. They're taking pictures with you, and you're also smiling, Carl. You know you're gonna escape soon.
You're getting out. Yeah, you know you're getting out.
He's thinking, bro, he's probably thinking, look at these dumb fucks. The soldiers they said to arrest me are taking pictures with me. I'm about to bribe my way out of this.
And this is considered one of the largest hits to drug trafficking since El Chapo. It's huge for this capture, and so it's gonna put a big gap in the market though for the next guy to move up.
Not really. It's a temporary thing.
And they fuck up. No. It's not usually. And when El Chapo got arrested, it was factions fighting
civil
for
war
time.
Of course.
And the biggest. That's why they.
What do they say? They say if you chop off the head, all the minions come out or some shit.
I don't know. But even when El Chapo was doing his thing, they didn't want. The government was working with him. Because when he was head of the table and he had all the factions all working together, it was safer operation. It was a safer operation. Everyone ate quite well together.
Right.
But when everyone's just fighting, especially after a massive power vacuum like that, everyone fights each other, innit? And what happens is bare bloodshed.
Yeah.
So the next huge instability until the next big guy comes in. Oh my days.
And only in the capture, only one soldier died. In capturing him, so that's pretty good.
They did quite well, man.
Yeah. I guess when you see 22 helicopters land in your garden and 500 man surrounding you, fuck it, I don't know.
That's a GTA 5 5-star thing you've done. That's nuts.
They're gonna teach him a lesson, innit?
Bro,
hopefully.
Well, they're gonna teach him. They need to make so that he doesn't escape. El Chapo escaped a few times after that.
Yeah.
So they must be scared of that. But moving on to a different story.
I tried to give you a little teacher.
Was it? There's no way I'm gonna go from that story to a teacher doing a Native American dance, hella racist.
Bro, what
in the
classroom?
In the classroom, bro. I saw this video, and it looked hella sus.
Yeah.
But you know what? I felt bad. I was watching and I felt kind of bad. I was thinking, because when they explained why she was doing this.
Oh, I don't know what the reason.
So the reason was, I think it was some kind of formula that related to this Native American name called Sakatoa.
Nah,
yeah,
that was the excuse.
no,
dancing up and down.
Yeah.
And like
basically, it says in the video, a teacher is seen wearing a headdress made of paper, simulating feathers, and dancing around the classroom while shouting "Sakatoa."
But in a mocking way. It wasn't like a casual way.
Oh no, she wasn't. I looked at the video. It didn't seem to me it was like her taking a piss.
I think she was tryharding.
She was just
Really?
tryharding.
Oh, in a cringy way.
In an extremely cringy way. But I felt extremely bad for her because I knew she's taking an L for this.
She didn't know what was going on.
And the kid that fucking recorded her, you're actually a dickhead. Like I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. You're a cunt because the reason is, although I understand you say, she's mocking, a person. Not really. You know the reason she was doing it is for her is to keep you guys engaged in class, doing things that are a little bit out. She's in the most cringy possible way. But you having posted that video has caused her to lose her job and be hounded by the internet for the next years to come. And for what? Yeah, cringy and kind of a mistake to do that. But I always look at people's intention behind what they're doing. Was she truly going out of her way to mock it? No.
But she hasn't been identified though.
Oh, she's been identified.
I mean, the internet had, but
yeah. Like, and I feel bad for that kind of person because why are we consistently punishing people for innocent mistakes?
Yeah.
When they have intentions that are not racist intentions, it's like we've forgotten in this day and age. We forgot to look at people's intentions.
Yeah, no one cares about.
No one cares intentions. Whether if you piss me off enough, I'm just gonna cancel you.
Yeah. Or if it looks bad, like it looks bad.
It looks bad.
Then you're gonna get cancelled, roasted.
I don't know. Like for example, a teacher teaching history and decides to do the Nazi sign to teach the kids about it and keep them engaged by doing some kind of showing them the stuff. Of course, it looks horrible. You wouldn't if thinking clearly. You think, oh nah, this is a bit. I might get cancelled for this, whatever. Yeah. But again, it's like innocent mistakes. We've forgotten the idea of innocent mistakes has long been long gone now.
Yeah.
And you could be cancelled for not really thinking something through for too much. And to be honest, she's now going to have to live with this. As we know, the internet does not forget.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be able to get another job.
No, for a very long time. So I feel bad. And that kid, yes, the kid's excuse obviously was, she's mocking my culture. I'm going to get bullied later because people are going to make jokes about Sokotoa to us.
Probably will happen.
Maybe, most likely, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I understand. But recording it and posting it, you've literally ruined that person's life. So if you're happy
maybe
about
give it to like the head of the school. Yeah, but maybe not the internet. I don't know.
Or speak to her about it and be like, listen, like I'm gonna get bullied for this or whatever. Like maybe speak. But what you've done now is truly ruin someone's life. And was that worth it? I really don't think so. Yeah, personally. Yeah. So. Yeah, and. Talking about dumb shit, the UK is now using inmates. You hearing me? Inmates for HGV drivers. So remember we were talking about that time when they've been struggling to get those HGV drivers out, truck drivers to transport oil, food, whatever that needs to be transported, and Brexit wasn't gonna cause this, blah blah blah. Turned out it did. They're now using inmates, and I saw one fucking funny video. I was dying, boys. Imagine this, yeah. The BBC News comes, yeah. They're like, "Oh, so are you one of the inmates driving the HGV drivers?" He's like, "Yeah, mate. I can't really believe it."
Really?
I love.
He's like, I'm out the walls. I'm out the walls.
he's like, yeah. They're giving us a second. They're giving us a second chance. They're like, "Oh, so what did you do, by the way? What was your thing? What was your? Why are you in prison?" Right. He was like, "Oh, my offence was smuggling drugs in with the lorry." The reason they gave him the job is because he's apparently he's prolific at driving lorries.
He's qualified, isn't it?
That one's when you're qualified.
He's like, man,
bro, he's like, I'm a proficient driver. I know how to do these things. I used to do that. That's why I'm here.
He's sitting there like, you see his face. He's like,
I beg you, send the video.
Bro, he's just there looking at it like, really? This man literally just let me drive it. I didn't know. I did last time.
I'm baffled though. So is this guy like chained to the inside? Is there like alarms if he opens the door?
He didn't look like that. He's basically gone for the day and he comes back to prison at night. He's meant to come out.
My guy's gonna pull up, just get out and gone. You're gonna find a lorry abandoned on the side of the road.
Oh, you're gonna see the lorry taken as well with the drugs. Oh my god,
that is weird.
The UK are killing me.
We're
bro.
actually going a bit crazy with some of these solutions.
They're just like, please sign.
Like the army one was good, but I never saw them. What happened?
They did the army thing.
Oh, it came in for a bit.
Yeah,
Alright.
they had to do the army thing.
All right, because
But they weren't enough.
Yeah. Right, okay. I'm gonna have to follow this story because this is funny.
Yeah, bro. It just shows you that the UK are gonna try. It's like.
But it does make sense though.
Like the Tory.
Might as well use them. Might as well.
You might as
It's a
well.
weird way to use them.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
we ain't listen. We're struggling. We need drivers. No one's coming. Immigrants are cutting out.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
But it just shows you that the Tory government, he was like proper, like, you know, they would hit hard over this kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Like, how the hell are we using inmates nowadays to do work for us? But when it's them doing it, they're just like doing it under the carpet. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's just, I was dying. I could have just to look
That's
at the guy's
mad.
face was killing.
I
me.
didn't expect that, to be honest. That's a big twist.
But yeah, guys, who's ready for the next lockdown?
Oh.
Not me.
Imagine after all of this,
Yeah.
So I don't even know what was happening, but basically the UK was being called by someone's, I don't know, maybe some European Parliament or some organizations around the world. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Maybe Twitter again, Twitter probably, to basically implement what's known as Plan B, which is basically some sort of safety measures, which is accordingly, aka lockdown measures again. So if you were here last year in the UK, it's basically trying to implement the same type of lockdowns. Wear a mask, safe distance, but also you have to wear a mask everywhere.
Okay.
And nightclubs
to be closed. All that shit again, basically. Just repeat of last year again.
Well, it's like I see like Twitter stuff. Like it's like people, when it's like rumblings, like BBC News will be like, "Oh, slowly, we're not going to be doing it." They keep saying we're not doing lockdown. When they start saying we're not going to do it, is where I start to worry.
Yeah.
Because they turn around and they're like, no, we're not doing lockdown this way. And the doctors are coming out. It looks like are saying, we're gonna need to do another lockdown.
That's the main thing. So even I think it was some of the executives at the hospital or the NHS in the UK. They were saying, if we don't implement these measures of lockdown again, these lockdown measures, it's going to be very impossible for us to be able to service all the ill people from COVID or whatever, because the NHS is becoming full again. Exactly. So they're saying if we don't implement these measures, it's going to be a miracle for us to even survive. Blah, blah, blah. So basically, if you ask me, I'm hella conspiratorial and all that shit. They just want more money, more funding, more blah blah blah. Because as far as I'm concerned, fuck all that shit.
what does that mean? What does that mean though? Because like if it comes to a certain degree of, if simply they don't have enough more people to do surgeries,
NHS workers,
importers things.
Yeah, but the NHS is always full anyway. Like it's packed 24/7.
Apparently,
bro, have you been A&E before COVID or anything like that? One time, I'm not gonna tell you why, but one time I had I had injuries on my head. I was bleeding out my head. Like literally, man's bleeding out of my head. Like injured my head, bleeding out. Blood coming out, blop, 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 blop.
Yeah.
I had to sit in A&E for 4 hours.
Bro. Just dripping away.
Dripping, fam. I had to beg them for some towels. I was like, beg you, fam, give me a sign.
Oh, okay.
I ran out of my asthma pump here, and I was having an asthma attack. I couldn't breathe, bro.
Yeah.
I sat there
like,
3 hours.
Enjoy it.
Waiting for that, just to be.
Soon come.
So I'm just there. Just trying to survive.
And the peak shit is
I'm in a queue, and this guy next to me, he's mangled. He's fucked too.
Yeah.
They come out quickly, save him for 2 seconds. They're like, you have to wait for another 2 hours. But
yeah,
we'll come
hold it down, hold it down, hold it down. And the thing is, when you go to hospital, you're gonna be exposed to all these like antibiotic resistant bacteria. So you're probably gonna catch something inside the hospital that kills you.
Yeah.
While you're waiting to be saved in an emergency situation. I beg you, nah, this is all bullshit. So anyways, luckily, just for everyone who's wondering, luckily I forgot who he is, the health secretary came out and he was like, listen, we're not gonna implement Plan B, fuck what they're saying, but not yet anyway. We're gonna keep it in the back pocket.
They keep saying not yet, but the fact that there was a plan at all, we didn't even think there was one. We thought this is it, done for good.
Yeah, I thought
there was no returning, he said, remember?
Bro,
no way back.
It's a trap card, fam.
So at this point, I'm just like, if they do it, even those who were like extremely, extremely against this kind of stuff, are now going to turn around and be like, listen, fuck this. We're also going to protest this at this point because it's becoming ridiculous. And countries are also banning UK now from travel. Did you know that?
Again, I thought we were getting back on the list.
No, we're getting banned again. We're starting to get banned again. Yeah, I know a guy who's trying to go somewhere recently, and he was trying to go to Morocco. He couldn't go there directly. Morocco banned the UK.
Oh fuck! All right.
For COVID reasons.
Yeah, it's because we got Delta Plus.
There's a new one.
Yeah, they didn't bother going down the alphabet anymore. It's Delta Plus instead.
Oh shit.
Soon they're gonna be going like pro.
Yes.
Flagship phone. Flagship COVID.
No pro. No Max.
COVID plus pro. Oh my days.
It's actually mad, but yeah, it's a similar situation happening in Russia right now.
Oh really?
Yeah, their COVID cases are actually going up hard. Like they're one of the most affected countries as well as us. So, and I think the stat was they only have 40% of their population vaccinated at the moment, or it's like 36 to 38%.
Well, it doesn't matter because people are going to go. Well, we've got nearly everyone vaccinated, and we're still going.
But the thing is, to be fair, with that kind of statistics, is once you get most people vaccinated, the people who do get breakthrough COVID, they're going to be a larger proportion of people who have COVID cases. So the ratio is just going to increase and increase. The more
Sorry, say that again.
So basically, let's say you have 100% population, yeah? Mm-hmm. Let's say 50% are vaccinated, 50 are not. Then it's going to be roughly, depending on how the COVID works and how data gets recorded, it's going to show a certain amount of people who have COVID who come to the hospital, who have to go to the hospital. And then once most people, let's say the majority of the population is vaccinated, let's say 90%, then it's still going to show like a certain number of people that go to the hospital and get COVID, but that ratio is going to be skewed towards vaccinated people. Does that make sense?
Oh, wait, are you saying what basically more vaccinated people are going to have COVID because of that? The fact that there's only vaccinated people left?
Basically.
Oh, but we're just talking about the fact that they're still being, like in Russia, that they're simply...
Yeah, I'm just talking about regularly. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter whether you're vaccinated or not, because even though we've got majority of our population vaccinated, we're still going to a lockdown. Regardless,
yeah,
and
that's what the fuck up is.
Yeah, and what it shows you as well is we need boosters.
Yeah,
this is a forever thing. Then it's becoming a forever,
kind of
a bit of a forever thing because
I think the peak thing is you kind of need everyone to vaccinate at the same time, because let's say even just 80% vaccinate, the 20% are going to keep COVID going. Yeah, and then when our percentage of we get like 80% less likely now to get COVID, that slowly goes down over time. Exactly. The ones who have it who are unvaccinated then give it to the ones that are losing their power, their defense, and then it just keeps cycling. You kind of need everyone to just do it at one time, try and obliterate COVID, and then you don't have to have any more vaccinations.
I don't think it's possible now. I
don't think it. Russia's way of tackling this is saying let's have a nationwide paid holiday.
That's mad.
Just a week off. Everyone gets a week off. So everyone gets paid. Calm. Let's see if that helps. Everyone just don't go into the office. Everyone stay home. Just enjoy yourself.
And that would be sick, to be honest. If they did that in the UK, that's the only lockdown I'll allow. Pay me for a holiday. Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to work, because surely, healthcare workers, certain professions can't take a week off.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know how it's going to work.
I don't really. It seems like a good idea on paper, but I mean, how's that going to work? And then each region in Russia does control their own COVID policy. So, this is just more of a can you do it, please? But they could just say no.
Yeah, exactly. What do people do on holidays?
Go out and
meet
enjoy
up
their life
with friends, meet up with family,
and especially if all your friends are off at the same time.
So how does that? I don't know how that's going to make much sense. But yeah, so Russia's dramatic decision to cut diplomatic ties. I saw this with the NATO.
Wow, that's a big move, actually.
Yeah, God.
I'm not gonna lie. This one, I was a little bit surprised, because I thought, there's a lot of what's called globalization going on. Everyone's kind of moving the same way. All these countries are applying the same regulations, same policies. And then Russia, even recently, they've been moving mad. They've been going against the US dollar. They've been saying, nah, fuck NATO, da da da. They've been coming into the British seas. Oh, really? Russia is going full on, listen, we disagree with the entire West. We're going to do our own thing. So, yeah, they cut ties with NATO, which is apparently further proof that Moscow no longer cares what the West thinks. And I seem to agree with them. As far as how I'm viewing the media, and of course this is from RT, which is a Russian-funded website, but still, it looks like Russia don't give zero fucks about what the West is doing, and they are heading their own way. So yeah.
So they decided we're just against NATO, just simply because of what? Any specific reasons? No,
not really. This basically the thing they called was undisclosed espionage, which is you can basically say that to anything. I mean, even I think the next topic we're going to talk about is how there's a robot called AI Da, which is basically an artistic robot and just basically draws art. An AI that is a robot that has AI inside it that can draw art, and it basically has been detained by Egypt. And
wait.
Wait. Let me mix it. Yeah, it's been detained. Basically, that AI robot has been
arrested.
It's been arrested, fam.
Bro, what did it do? What's the case?
No, it's because basically they cite the same shit. It's like this is undisclosed espionage. So basically countries are basically saying to each other, I don't know what you're doing. I can't trust you. Everyone's moving a bit mad. Right. It's becoming a free-for-all. So Russia was like, you know what? We can't risk getting too close with EU. We can't get too close to the NATO. We can't. Right. So we're basically going to cut ties with all you, man. We're going to get rid of the US dollar in part of our treasury. We're going to try and, cause distance between the two of us because we think what you're doing is too fucked up and we can't risk our nation. It's like a national security thing. So
everyone's just trying to spy on each other in some specific way.
Yeah, I mean, look how much Russia gets blamed for everything, fam. And obviously, some things we believe that they did do, like for example, the Khashoggi poisoning. Some things we believe.
Oh, that was Saudi. That was Saudi.
Oh, sorry. Whichever one. Like something.
This was the little.
Oh yeah, they did poison someone else as well on the plane. I forgot his name.
Yeah. So they're poisoners. They like to poison. They don't do nothing messy like Khashoggi.
Yeah.
But either way,
messy.
I don't know if you guys see how the media is being portraying Russia, but Russia's always getting portrayed as like the bad guy, the evil villain. It's the evil villain of this hero that is America, and so on and so forth. EU's a hero.
We know
and so Russia's like, fuck you niggas. We ain't got time for this shit.
You know why? Because we saw China was doing that. China, because they got boasted by China.
And to be honest, China's doing the same thing. To be honest, even China saying like, watch. If anyone chat shit to us, you're gonna have to face the 1 billion wall and slam your face against that. See how you feel.
Yeah.
So it seems that everyone's kind of just going their own way. Everyone thought there was this massive globalization thing going on. Everyone's coming and agreeing to the same thing. But it seems like everyone's kind of going their own way. Even UK, we left Brexit. And it's become that kind of trend is continuing. And this is just furthering that trend, I think. That's what I'm seeing anyway.
Well,
it's a bit hypocritical if we're the ones complaining that they left NATO. To be fair.
I ain't complaining personally. I'm just enjoying.
But that is a big move as well because it's a military group. It's not just like trade and stuff. It's literally meant so that we stay together all on the same team, kind of follow certain rules, laws.
Yeah, so it seems like it's changing from globalization, which was back after World War II. Everyone's moving towards globalization in Europe because of what happened.
Yeah.
And they were like having, nationalism and separate countries generally leads to war. It shows that, most likely the way everyone's moving recently, that war is inevitable for someone.
Exactly.
For somewhere.
It is coming.
So the peace...
It's going to be so peak.
At this time, when they got hypersonic fucking missiles going from one side of the world to the other and shocking the world.
It literally orbited the Earth, China's missile. Yeah. And then it sped up towards the country that they were testing it on, and then that was it.
And it landed only like 20 miles away from where they expected it to land. Yeah. So it shows you the accuracy that the the US got so shook they started pouring loads of money into that research.
And they getting I think help from SpaceX, Elon Musk actually.
Oh shit. Okay.
They're like, we need Americans to help out now.
Because obviously if you guys don't pay attention to SpaceX, basically they have the highest sophisticated, most technologically advanced space rocket ships in the world.
Of course,
they literally have autonomous rocket ships that fly into orbit, come back down and land with precision, pinpoint precision. So that's insane.
So it makes them more likely to work with them. But the technology is just getting crazy nowadays. And we got the research. You hear about the pig who basically they took the kidney out. Firstly they genetically modified the pig so that it produces a kidney that will not be rejected by the human body, and then placed it in a human.
What?
Yeah, so they're using that as like organ donors instead of waiting for because it's just such a long list for organ kidney donations. Then now they're gonna just use modified pig.
Is it close to a human's kidney then, or is it still kind of a pig's kidney that just fits in us?
No, it's just a pig's kidney that fits in us. Basically.
Oh, that's a bit weird. I don't know about that,
but it works. It does the job.
I don't want that one. I'll wait on the list.
No, because the list is so long. 7 people die a day waiting on the list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you don't want to wait in the list. You take the pig kidney even if you had the chance.
Temporarily. I don't know. I don't want a pig kidney in me, man.
Yeah, I know. That's a bit disgusting.
Even if it 100% works.
Well, haven't they been doing the heart thing for a while, though? Pig's heart, they've been putting in people for a while now.
Really?
Yeah,
you sure?
I'm gonna do a quick search.
Really?
Yeah, pig heart.
Okay, I'm behind on the transplant technology we got now. Pig heart? Nah, I can't be back in that one.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know if it's 100%.
That doesn't make up
it says surgeons could be transplanted because I must be a movie. I must have saw those.
I do remember reading like a fiction book about that. I'm not gonna
really?
Must have been a fiction. I thought they were doing it. I was like,
but shit's getting crazy.
They've done the kidney. It's not far off.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that was this week's Let's Chat Shit podcast. Yeah, make sure you you hit the buttons,
follow
Twitter, everything. Safe.